Hi, I like Marvel Rivals, but I also like talking about character design, animation, and just other little things. I have. I'm not coming from a place of a master animator or a master character designer, really. I'm just coming as a simple nerd who likes the way characters look. So, I've decided I'm going to rank all the MVP animations in Marvel Rivals from Season 1. Yeah. I hope you guys enjoy the video, and also stick around for other videos on this channel. If you like it, leave a like, subscribe, hit the little bell, ding-a-ling-ding, and let's get into this. Alright, so I have this tier list here. It's got all the MVPs in there, and I have basically customized the tiers to be perfect as is, change one or two things, change some things, or actually I just change that to change most things, and completely remake, as in like complete. I don't like the MVP. I think they should completely redo it. I don't think it fits the character. I don't think it fits the moment. I don't think it just is good. So without further ado, let's start with Adam, Mr. Adam Warlock. Alright, so his first MVP here, his most basic one. I actually think with the idea of Adam Warlock as a character, right? You got like this golden man fucking known, like his whole thing is his rezzing in the game. Is his spiritual bonding, healing, and his rezzing. And so I feel like this right here, this MVP animation, is a perfect example of basically playing the character straight for the moment. And I actually do think the landing pose that they leave him in is really good, especially with the lighting effects. Let me just really quick bring down this volume. So I think that the pose they land him in is really good. I think this like ray of light is also really good. There's a little spin on the cane. I think that's pretty all right. I think that he kind of does that a lot in the game, actually, like a lot of his animations. So I actually think that's pretty good. And like you have his moment where he basically kind of charges this like res thing. So I actually think this is like a really cool little animation for him. I think I'm going to have this one. Okay, I think I'm gonna have this one. Where is it? Where is Mr. Warlock? Right here. I think I'm gonna have this one be perfect as is. I think that for what it's trying to do, I think that's actually perfect as is. Alright, so his other one. Now this is from Guardians of the Galaxy, right? I've actually seen the movie clip that this is from. As a reference to the movie, I think it's actually pretty good. I think this is pretty good. I think his landing pose is pretty nice and striking. I feel like right here, like this moment, I feel like that should have been a little snappier, just to like emphasize the pose a bit. But it's not bad. If there's one thing I would change about this MVP animation, is as he's flying around, I feel like it's a little too barren. Like it's a little too empty. I know there's like he's like flying across a battlefield and explosions are going off, but like you can like visually see the explosions bursting off of nothing. And it's not like they could put a floor here or something, but I think they could have done a better job with the explosions and all the things happening around them. Other than that, I think it's pretty good. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. So we're gonna have this version of Warlock, this MVP. I think I'm gonna have this basically sit probably in change one or two things, because the only thing I would really change is the background as he's zooming around and shit. Like that's the only thing I would really change about him. Alright, so the next MVP animation is one he just got. Ooh, I actually think that's really nice. Like, you get this whole swirling thing and it collides against his shield, he clears it, and you get this giant, like, fucking column of light breaking apart the, I'm assuming that's Dracula anyway, like Dracula's dark force. And I really like the teardrop in his mask. And his final pose is not super strong, but it's still good because of like his holy nature, you know, like he shuts the book and he's like holding like the kind of like the pose, very like apostle almost. I think that's actually really good. I think that's actually like a really good skin, and like his costuming is also really nice for the skin too. Yeah. I think for the story they're trying to tell with this MVP animation in the last pose, I think, I'm not gonna lie to you, chat, I think that's perfect as is. I probably wouldn't change much about that one. I probably wouldn't change anything about this actually. Alright, so okay, so next is Black Panther. I have to take this costume off. We're gonna do this costumless. So his standard one. See, I like that a lot, right? Because I was just talking about this with the Adam one, and I was saying that the last pose was like really strong for him. I feel like the final pose of these is like the selling point a lot of the times, right? Part of it is like the action that happens before it, and then the other part is the final frame where it's like actually kind of drawn on and stylized, and he hit that cool pose. I think this is kind of cool. I like that he's like kind of coming out from an explosion, like a spear that he threw, and then it's like appearing from the explosion. He does this little twirl, and he's like kind of coming in, and you see like the swishes and swirls around him, and then you have like the claw in your face and shit. Yeah, like the claws in the foreground, and his body's behind it. I think that's chat. We're gonna call that one a perfect as is. I think that's actually pretty perfect. I wouldn't change anything about that. That shit is pretty damn good. All right, so his next one is this Empire one. And that's cool too. Especially since he has like the talons on his feet, like him landing like that, especially when you see him powering up his feet in the air, is actually really kind of dope. And this is another one where he's kind of like drenched in darkness and there's no background or anything, but that's fine because what's taking up all the space visually is the claw marks that he's leaving in the sky and shit. So it actually kind of does feel nice, and I like the background work on his costuming here, and the lighting is really well done. Like, I like that it's kind of like leaning into all these blues and stuff, and then like to play with the blues, the background is like more kind of like pinkish, like pink purple, like a very saturated one, or not saturated but like desaturated one. I think it's actually really cool. Like, we desaturated like lavender or lilac, right? Yeah, I like that a lot, actually. I really like that. I like that as Black Panther. I actually kind of like that it's like him, the key pose is him landing with his like feet. Like his feet's the action focal part, and it's not his hands again. I like that as like a form of like variation of his animation. So next we have Mosey's lineage. This is like the primal one, right? Okay, that one's kind of cool. I actually kind of like this one because I like that it's so like clearly he feels like he's in a jungle or cave, or like he's on the prowl, and they did a lot of good job of putting things in the air. And then like even like having right before he jumps down, you see like the moon behind him, and he does like the freaking Yeah, like the eye shine, because they do the eye shine twice. They do it once when he first sees his prey, presumably, and the other one when he's about to strike to show that, like, yeah, he's on his shit. Like, that man is going in for the kill. He's leaping, he's landing. I think that's actually a really good pose. If there's anything about this MVP that I would change, it would be that he like lands on what would be like, I guess, his prey. Because then it would be like, yeah, like, you know, he came down and he caught his prey. But this is also a pretty strong pose at the end too. Like this little action shot of him like landing and like I'm guessing looking over whoever's camping spot that is, because I see the fire. So yeah, that one is pretty good. In terms of how it ranks, I think that's another one where I think that's actually pretty perfect as is. I don't know if I would change anything about it. Really, I don't think I actually would change anything about it. Next, we have Black Widow. Alright, so let's check out hers. Okay. You know, because like, you know, she's doing the grapple, she lands, she's with the action pose, and then she brings out the sniper for the shot. I like that. I actually like the, you see all like the effects, the HUD effects on the sniper. So like the scope, where the barrel is, and then like the comms of the rifle. And it's really cool. It's actually kind of nice. This one's like really plain, but like it's not even plain in a bad way. It's like actually kind of nice. Because it captures two things about her like her playstyle in the game, like her character in the game, and that's that, you know, she has a grapple, she grapples around, and she has a sniper. So I actually think that's pretty good. For Black Widow, as like the sniper of the game, that's actually pretty damn good. I don't think I have any notes about this one, because it's like, this is the basic one, right? So this is pretty good. And I actually just noticed, like, she's also like sliding in the beginning. She's like landing in, sliding in, you see that? Hold on. Yeah, she's like sliding in and then she grapples up. That's actually it's kind of nice. Cool little detail. In terms of where that one ranks, I think I actually wouldn't also change any of that. I think that's actually kind of perfect as is. So far, they're on a good track with these. Alright. So this is from the movie, right? Black Widow movie? Okay. So the ones that are based off the movies, I'm gonna have to judge based off of, I guess, how much they hold to the scene. Because like as a MVP pose on its own, this one's kind of mid. Because this one basically did what the normal one does, but less interesting, because she doesn't even pull out the gun or do anything like cool. She just kind of lands and then looks forward. But because this is a reference to a point of the movie, that's where like the cool factor comes from. But yeah, I mean, like, just because it's tough, because it's referencing the movie, so they have to kind of like keep it more or less close to the movie. But because it has to be close to the movie, it's also kind of lackluster. I mean, it's kind of cool because it's like a little ballerina pose, but other than that, she's just kind of, I don't know, it's just basically, we kind of have like the whole falling down from the grapple thing from her original MVP animation, so this one's just kind of, you know, it's alright. You kind of buy that one for the reference to the movie. I would change one or two things for that one, but I don't know what I would change. It would be hard, because they want to keep this close to the movie as possible. So I don't know what you could add, because if it's just basically how well does it copy the movie scene, well then it's like, you know, kind of perfect as is. But as an MVP animation, I don't know. I think I would change one or two things about that one. I would add some flair to it. Mr. Banner. Let's see it. Okay. I have thoughts. I've had thoughts about this one every time I've seen it because I have a buddy who mains Hulk, and I've also mained Hulk a couple times. This one, I would absolutely add things. This one is boring. Because, like, you got him running up, and he does the leap, and then he lands, and then it's just like a pose, right? And, like, when you think of Hulk, you think of, like, this big muscle guy. He's fucking leaping from building to buildings, and he's just smashing shit. And the fact that this one is just kind of like, you know, he runs up, he does a leap, and then he lands, but because he's leaping against a blank background, it doesn't even feel like he's really leaping that far. And like, they do a good job of selling the landing and having like the landing be very kind of like, you know, rockets pushed up. It's like kind of intense, but I don't know, with this landing pose where he just kind of like has his hands out, he just opens his hands, and I guess he's unleashing the gamma. But I think I would like kind of go for like a punch or a fist, or like even like clench his fist. I feel like that would actually be stronger if he's like clenching his fists for the gamma. Yeah, I don't know. This one's kind of, it's not bad. Yeah, this one's not bad. It's just kind of, I don't know. I think I would definitely change one or two things about that one. That one's not too exciting to look at. That one's just kind of like way basic, and not even like, I know like basic is a thing because it's their base MVP animations, but some people have like really strong base MVP animations, because like Adam Warlock's is like way stronger than this, and so is Black Panther's. And in terms of like just the action before the strike pose and then the strike pose, like this is kind of weak. All right, let's check out his other one. See, like this one's fucking great, cause this one has like he gets him in the chair. You see lava magma just fucking flare up around him when he slams his fucking fist into the chair, and he does the leap here too. But because the camera kind of does this thing where it looks up at him, and you see him kind of like landing on us, and he fucking lands on Iron Man's helmet, and he's just like beating shit around him. Like, you know, it's just like, yeah, that's like way more intense. And it's like, you know, it's Planet Hulk, so it's got to be more intense. And then even like the different Avengers things around him, like you see the Iron Man helmet, the Cap shield, Thor Mjolnir right here. Yeah, this one is kind of more along the lines what I expected the base one to be like, but like less intense than this, obviously, because this one's for a skin. Like, you gotta sell the skin. But this one's great. I actually think that one is great. I'm going to put that one at perfect. That one is for sure perfect as is. I could not think of a single thing to change about that one at all. Okay, Mr. Cap. Stop the cap. Let's check out you. Okay. So this one's actually kind of basic, but I feel like for Cap, this one's pretty good. This one's pretty perfect. Because he does, like, you got the thing that he does where he kicks up his shield and catches it, right? And then he does this big strike, kind of like corny pose with the shield. But the thing about Cap is that, like, he is corny. Like, his name is literally Captain America. He has a shield, an American shield, and he has like the stars and stripes, red, white, and blue. Like, everything about Cap is corny. Not in a bad way, but like, you know, in a good way. Because like, that's his character. He is basically like the American, all American principles in a man. And I feel like this like key pose where the shield is kind of like popping off. You see all the particle effects coming off the shield, and he's like, smile on his face, he's holding firm. Like, I think this as a base MVP for Cap, this one's actually, I think it's perfect. I don't think I would change anything about that one. I think that one is genuinely perfect as is. Alright, so the other one, yeah, that's good. That's good. So this one has a good follow-up that leads into that action pose. It's like a nice gladiator arena. Like, you can hear the chants and shit. All the arrows on the floor. and then just that fucking bing bing clanging the fucking axe on the shield and then striking the shout and then that shout being the fucking pose for this. Yeah, that's a really good fucking MVP. And he also looks really well drawn there. Oh yeah. Yeah. This MVP animation goes fucking hard. That one for sure is perfect as is. That one for sure is perfect as is. Alright, Cloak and Dagger. So, what I actually really like about Cloak and Dagger's intro is that they basically, Cloak feels like part of Dagger, right? Because like they are in this game, like they both occupy they can't occupy the same space, so they're technically like one of the same, like one within each other, I believe. I think that's what Doctor Strange did. But I like that basically you have Cloak come in, and then she sheds Cloak, Dagger sheds Cloak to come out, and then they both basically kind of do their key pose where Cloak is holding his orb and Dagger's sending out her daggers. I think this kind of goes hard. I think this key pose is really nice, especially when it's like two characters with each other and they're like working in tandem. I think this actually really goes. This is perfect as is. Hell yeah. Let me see this again. I like the yin-yang thing they're kind of going for here. I feel like the final pose... Actually, no, I think it's fine. For a second, I was gonna say, I feel like the final pose feels like... Because like you have them both charging and then like the release of their charge. And like you kind of do feel the release of their charge here. Yeah, like you know you have Cloaks like waves and then Daggers waves in front of Cloaks. So actually, you know what? I think that's fine. I think this is actually a pretty good MVP animation. Yeah, I think this is a pretty good MVP animation actually. Cause like it's like growth and decay, right? I think actually the one thing I would change about this MVP animation is that besides the flowers on the right, and like I guess kind of like, well actually barely her costuming really, besides the flowers on the right, you don't really get much like growth in the final section, right? Because like you get the decay because you have like all these thorns and shit around, but like her growth is just like the daggers coming out. And like I guess you can argue that the daggers are kind of like her thorns, kind of like growing and like being flung out of her, but I don't know. I guess it just kind of, it doesn't really follow it up so much like the growth decay kind of yin yang that they're doing in the lead up to the key pose. So if there's one thing I would change, oops, not that. If there's one thing I would change about this, it would be that. So I'm gonna put that in, change one or two things actually. I would change one or two things about that. All right, Doctor Strange, we're doing this skinless. Okay, that's actually, so again, the base ones. For a base one, I think that's pretty good. Because like, you know, Doctor Strange is all about his spells and his artifacts, so the fact that like the first shot is him kind of like doing like spell effects around his artifact, presumably like activating the artifact, and then he brings it to be like this giant shield, and then you see him like kind of whip around his wrist, and he's doing like that little line, a little dash of magic kind of trailing off from his two fingers up here, and you could even see like the little balls from his magic, those little like illumination balls are kind of still drifting even after the final pose. I think that's actually a really good final pose. Yeah, I think that's actually kind of nice. I like this. I like this. I think that one doesn't really need anything changed about it. Yeah, I don't think I would change much about this one. This one's alright. The final pose in this one is really fucking gorgeous. Like, the amount of detail that went into this final frame here, like, in terms of costuming, like the lighting, the posing, how he's like perfectly centered, but because he's perfectly centered, both his eyes and his hands are doing like a triangle motif, and even his head kind of is doing a bit of like, everything in this frame is triangular. So like, pay attention to his head shape, triangular. Pay attention to his hands, triangular. Eyes, triangular. Even his mustache is kind of like a little triangular if you look at his face. The effect in the background is triangular. Even like his head to his shoulders, because of the costuming, is pretty triangular. So like, everything in the final pose of this is great. If I would have to change one thing, I would make it so that these vines and shit that are grabbing onto him, I would have it so that they're like kind of slowly coming off, but they don't get like knocked off of him until that first bit of arcane burst from him. So this right here, this little burst right there, that would be where I would remove the thorns. I would have the thorns kind of be like bursted off of him instead of just kind of like slowly coming off of him, because he's like gaining power and shit. At least that's just like how I would do it, but this is pretty good. I'm gonna put that on just 1 or 2 changes, because that final pose is like so well done. This final pose here is so fucking well done. This is wallpaper shit right here. This is for sure wallpaper shit. All right. Okay, I like this actually. I like the slow kind of build of this. As you see, like basically his magic circle kind of builds on the floor below him, and then basically kind of like to execute the spell, he does this fucking like Naruto ass hand jutsus, and then you can see him grabbing the threads and then creating it, and then that's when all his fucking hands come out, and like even the threads and all the like the line work kind of work with like the constellation shit that's also happening on the outsides. And even like the constellations in the background of this. Yeah, this is really good. This is like also really good key, like not key posing, but like the final frame of this, like the art in the final frame. Yeah, I think that's like, yeah, I think that's dope. That's fucking dope. I'm not gonna lie to you, that's dope. I'm gonna put that as perfect as is. That's fucking dope. That is so fucking dope. So this is a new one. That one's alright. That one's pretty good. So this is like for the... So this is for Season 1, and you can totally see where the level up for the MVP animations came in Season 1. Because all of this is in like this painted backdrop. And like he's summoning the dragon, and the dragon has like this like really gorgeous thing in the background. Okay, so like... I guess he kind of does have a bit of Doctor Strange still in him, because he still does like the magic with his hands, and then like the summoning right here, like the summoning circle before he unleashes the dragon does like all this like swooshing and swirling and shit around him. And his final pose where he basically kind of holds a meditation. This one's kind of nice. This one's actually kind of dope. I like this. Yeah, I think I like this one actually. They definitely stepped up their game for Season 1. I'll say that one. This one's kind of perfect as is. Yeah, I can't feasibly think of something I would actually want to change about this animation, really. Because he's basically calling the dragon forth, and like, yeah, that's what they're going for. That's exactly what it is. Like, all right, Groot. We're going to remove the costume for this, and we're gonna watch All right, so Groot's is kind of strange because like he puts his roots in and he grows, but then like he's kind of like, I guess he's holding the growth of life in his hand, and it's kind of like he's sitting on the thing he grew. I think this one's cute. This one's like a cute little expression of Groot. And this is like a basic one actually, so I can't really say too much about how it should be. Actually, nah, I'm gonna say it. If I would change one thing about this, it would be right here where you see the bark growing. Instead of having like the smoke bellow up and then kind of have that transition to him sitting, I would just kind of have like the camera like panning down over like all the roots spreading and then bring it back up to see him sitting on the roots with the thing in his hand. That's how I think this could be like leveled up a bit, but it's not bad. I think this is actually fine. I think this is cute. This is cute for Groot. For Groot, I think that's cute. So I'm just gonna put that as like, I would change one or two things, but then like that's about it. That's it. Okay, so again, because these are basically movie moments, it's gotta like play into the movie moment. But as an MVP animation for Groot, this is kind of boring. It's actually like kind of comically boring, because like he just kind of like wakes up, gets up, like alright, like wipes all the sand off him, and then like that's the key pose when once he's done finished like wiping the sand off him. And like as a cute little like him and Rocket moment, because like Guardians of the Galaxy and shit, it's kind of nice, but yeah, I kind of think it's boring. This is like a really boring one. He just kind of stands up. Yeah, I don't know. I just, if this is your thing, so be it. But just me personally, if I would kind of add something more to it, or just like have the final pose be something more like dramatic or something like different. Kind of like have him like snap to that final pose, which actually it wouldn't work because Groot's like whole thing is that he's like slow and lumbering. I don't know. I think it would change one or two things about this one. Obviously, you can't change too much because it has to, be in line with the movie. But this is another one where, like the Black Widow one, where it's just kind of like, because they're sticking to the movie, they kind of have to basically make it feel very. They can't really be imaginative with it, and I think that kind of like holds this back a bit. I think if there's one thing I would add to it, is if you're gonna like basically play with the fact that he's like slow and lumbering and he's gotta get up, like kind of have it feel more like he's like a heavy creature getting up, because like he kind of just like he stumbles and like you hear like fumbling and shit and he just kind of gets up. I would have like more pieces of his body feel like rigid as he's getting up, like more stiff, more rigid, kind of more like when he's putting his like hands, his arms on the ground to like push himself up. Yeah, feel it, have it, make them feel like they have more weight to them. Like, yeah, I don't know. He just kind of gets up pretty normally, like just kind of like a guy. Yeah, I don't know. This one's kind of, I don't know. That one's kind of boring. Okay, so Christmas time is over. So the winter MVPs are not available to be watched unless you bought them. So we're gonna have to rely on this YouTube video to watch the winter MVPs. Shout out to Ben Gunn on YouTube for uploading this. Much appreciated. I'm gonna leave a like. So let's check out Groot's MVP here. This is so. Let me skip to the MVP. Okay, that's kind of adorable. He's like, he has his little ornaments and he's kind of like holding on to them, and he sees them up in the air. It's adorable. You know what? This one is alright. It's adorable. It's kind of cute, especially for like Christmas Groot. I feel like because he's a tree, I would have made the MVP animation more about like him posting all the ornaments on himself and then kind of like posing with it. But this is not a bad take on it either. Kind of like, you know, holding on to all the ornaments, polishing them, and then sneezing them up into the air. I think that's kind of cute. It kind of plays into like Groot's like aloof nature, I guess. I think that's another one where I would just change one or two things. I don't think it's bad. It's just I would go a different direction with that one. All right, next is Hawkeye. So Hawkeye. Okay, so Hawkeye. I've actually seen Hawkeye's MVPs before, both of them, and I think they're both an example of basically perfectly done MVPs for him. Because Hawkeye's whole thing is that this man is he's just a dude who is super cracked at shooting that bow and arrow. So like for his basic one, how do you communicate that? Well, he comes in, he's already shooting one, shoots another one, rolls, does his hop, and then he's just the action pose of him drawing another another arrow, I mean. And like he's just like, you can see the lightning coming off of it. And like all the effects on his bow and shit. Like this fucking goes on. Yeah, honestly, I think that one's gonna be perfect as is for sure. Like definitely perfect as is. I really like everything about this. I really like the freaking last pose. I like the particle effects in it. Like everything here is really fucking strong. I like the action of it and everything. Alright, so his other one. Like you have him fucking falling out of the sky, and then this where he's like sliding on the side of a building and then firing a shot upside down as he's still falling. Like, you gotta admit, this is so fucking cool. Like, Jesus Christ. This right here, where he's just sliding along the glass, you can see the reflection of the city. Like, that is so fucking dope. And then the final action shot where he's drawing back the fucking arrow. Like, for a character whose whole thing is just that he shoots a bow and arrow, they love to make this guy look bad fucking ass. That one is perfect. Perfect. Just perfect. Perfect, indisputable. There's nothing about this I could change. That is just perfect. Alright, Hela. We're gonna have you remove this costume. So, I actually think this animation of Hela coming out of the crows is really cool and shit. But on its own, right? It's like not as strong. But because of this final pose where she hits like the cuntiest fucking stance, and like you can see her as she's coming into this pose, she's already prepping for the stance. She's like drawing her weapon and she's like getting ready for this final pose. That makes everything about this fucking great. Like the fact that she forms out of crows to hit this fucking cunty ass stance is amazing. I think it's amazing. It's very basic, and it gets to be because it's the basic MVP animation. And even with that being said, as a basic MVP animation, this shit's fucking dope. This shit, hell yeah, Hela. No pun intended. Absolutely, that one fucks. This one too, like honestly, the fact that like the fucking orb forms and then she forms out, she grabs it and then empowers it and swings it, like this shit is fucking nice. I'm trying to think of like genuinely what I would change about this, and I don't even know if there's anything I would change about it. I might be biased because I love cosmic shit a lot, and I also love like her very not angelic, but you know what I mean, like kind of like the white garbs that like leads to gold accents. Like I'm a sucker for this kind of thing. I just think this whole shit, this looks dope as fuck. The only like, if it would change anything about this, it's that I would make it so that she's like pulling the sword out of her stomach or like out of her body, because like you know how she has like the singularity inside of her, but that's not even something that's necessary. Like genuinely, what they have here is fucking great on its own. Also, yeah, that one's another certified banger. Ooh, this one's cool too. So like this one is like the basic MVP, where the final pose is basically like a nice little, it's not a strong pose, but it's a cool pose because of everything that leads into it. Like the fact that she literally descends upon all these like rezzing fucking ghouls and monsters and shit. And then like you can see her tethered to everyone and then command them forward and they all start like rushing and like charging at the screen. And like the pose is her basically commanding them forth type shit. Like this right here is what makes this final pose amazing. And I like the lava, like basically the hell behind her and shit. Oh yeah, this is really nice. Like okay, I don't see myself changing anything about this one. Genuinely, I don't think I would. All right, Invisible Woman, a more recent one. So the thing about this Invisible Woman one, I think this is a good one. It's a good basic one. The only thing I would change about this is when she's shooting the pellets out. That is the only part about this that feels weak. Cause like, you know, she's like sending it out, it's like hitting like different portions of the screen. But like, even when it's hitting in the center, it just doesn't really feel like it has impact. Like you see the particle effect and you see like the little like warping around you, but like, you get more out of her pulling you in. And I guess you can argue that like the last thing she's putting on you is the thing that allows her to pull you in. But like, as far as I understand, I don't even know that that's like how it works. I think she could just pull you in. I don't think she has to attach something on you to pull you in. Maybe she does. But yeah, I think this one's really strong for a basic one. I think the only thing I would change about it is I would make it so that the 3 hits feel like they have more impact, because they kind of feel a little like, you know, I don't know. I know she's a healer and stuff, but it's not that strong. Oh yeah. Chat. There's 3 things I'm gonna point out about this that I think is what makes this really great, right? 3 moments. So I like the impact and then pulling away, right? So impact, pulling away for each impact. I like this little moment before she runs forward and does her flip, that she has like this like really crazed fucking smile on her. And just even like her posing during this is like, oh my god. If they wanted Dami Mommy energy, right? Which is basically what like the visuals of the skin kind of gives. They committed to that shit fucking hard. This shit has an agenda that it sets out to do, and it did it. And it didn't hold back. And that is something I really fucking appreciate. It's going in perfect. Golly. Oh yeah. And that last fucking pose. Oh yeah. This one is actually also pretty good. I feel like what makes this kind of work is that the dragon is following him the whole time. So like you see him in the beginning, like he powers on, right? He powers up, and then the dragon swirls him. He leaps, the dragon's still swirling him. He's in the air, the dragon's still swirling him, and then it comes into his fist as he's punching down. And also the dragon swirling around him helps with the readability of his movements. It helps it like sell his movements, and it makes it kind of easy to follow what he's doing. And I think that, I feel like if this MVP animation didn't have the dragon and it was just the aura around him, this would feel too weak. That last impact frame is really strong too. I like that he's like doing like the choo choo, like the fucking facial expression of him like releasing his breath as he's like punching. Yeah, I think that one's really good. That one's really good. If it wasn't for the dragon and his aura, this would be much weaker, but this is really good. It wouldn't be weaker by much because it's still like a good, you know, he powers up, he does a swirling leap, and then he comes down with a punch. Like that still would have been strong on its own, but the dragon definitely adds to that shit. I'll say that much. Oh. Ooh, that last pose. So he gets the sword. The sword breaks. He kind of does like some basically not like meditating poses with it. And then he brings the sword back together as he's powered up, and in that pose with the sword, like the sword is coming into the camera like this. Yeah, I think this is really good. I also like the like little like constellation-esque particle that's like appearing around him, and then you can even see it once he reforms the sword. Right, like right here in this moment, he's like right before he reforms the sword, you can see like that last little like of it. I think this is really good. I think for the skin to be paired with this MVP animation, this shit is good. I feel like this skin also, low-key, is teetering on being a little too long, but it hits the sweet spot. I feel like if they added like one more animation of him like fucking around with the sword fragments, it would have felt like way too long, but I think they hit the sweet spot with the timing on this one. I think that one is going to go into perfect as is. I don't think I would change much about this. I don't think I would change anything about that one. Alright, Mr. Iron Man, we're going to go basic skin. Yeah, so the beginning is basic because it's Iron Man. You know, he's dodging, he's like flying around. His rockets that he shot before are landing around him, and he fucking does his Iron Man landing. Everyone knows the Iron Man landing, and in this fucking pose right here, oh yeah, this is a good basic one. This is a really good basic MVP, especially with this being the final shot. And I do like not the juxtaposition, but I do like the difference with one hand being in the fist and the other one being like open as he's like firing this off. I think that's really cool. Yeah, this one in terms of like the basic animations, that one's pretty good. That one's pretty good. Yeah. So this one is another. So this is an example of a movie moment where they didn't do the exact movement moment, and they took some artistic liberty, and it worked out in their favor. So this is what I was talking about with the Groot one and with the Black Widow one, because this scene where he's like fighting, I'm assuming this is like when he was fighting with Pepper, and they were doing like a back-to-back fighting. He never did the gauntlet. He never had the gauntlets. He never did the snap and shit. Like that's all like added in because like they wanted to fit two different references of him, because he has two great moments in that film, and that makes this scene that much doper. And then like the fact that the battlefield is like in the background the entire time during this. Oh yeah. Yeah, so this one's perfect. This one is what the other is that the okay, so this one is basically on the level that the other movie-based MVP intros that we've seen so far should have been on. But I understand that there's like different tiers of skin, especially with like costing. But that one, I feel like that one did it best. That one did it best. That one, if this Black Widow one or the Groot one kind of went with that, I feel like that would have been really strong choices. And it's like instead of just like sticking to the scene mostly. All right, so next we're gonna see Be Superior. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what about this one I really like. It's the fucking sound effects. I like that, like, that sound effect that goes off with the red beeping. I feel like that is like the textbook example of a sci-fi sound effect of technology being uncanny or going wrong. Like, whenever you hear that sound effect in movies, whatever tech is going on is fucked. Everything is fucked. And I like it. I like that you can kind of see like the liquidity of the suit as it's like forming around him, and then, like, it also kind of like more, it takes his face away. So like you see like he lands and it's open face, but then like as he's like submitting to the suit and it's like taking over his humanity, it like takes his face away, and it's just basically like the liquid metal robot, and he's got like the fucking hand out because he's gonna blast your shit. Yeah, this feels like really fucking like really well done. Feels like almost like if they were going for like a horror aesthetic or like the shit hitting the fan aesthetic, this MVP intro is hitting it full marks. That one's gonna definitely be perfect as is. Ooh. Okay. I like the descending from the moon. And then this scene where he's like shooting off like the little rockets, I guess, from his, I don't know what it actually is in the skin. But like descending from the moon into the landing pose and holding that pose, that's really strong. Him shooting the things and it creating the smoke and then him coming out of the smoke is also really strong. I just think the leading into that final pose could have been stronger. Like, I feel like if the camera kind of did this thing where it like zoomed in onto his like shoulder and it kind of like a little bit of like forced perspective, and then it like it zoomed out into like this pose, it would be so much stronger. Not to say that this was bad, it's just it kind of feels like it's like missing that moment. Kind of like, I mean, that does feel like pretty like anime junky of me to say, but you know, like I feel like would have been so cool. Everything else about this is really dope though. I think that one's gonna go into I would change one thing about it. I would only change one thing about it, and it's like the moment leading into that final pose, because everything else about this is fucking really nice. Yeah, everything else about this is really nice. All right, my boy Jeff. Oh wait, we gotta turn off the costume. I mean, let me tell you something about Jeff. He's basic. This is so very basic, but in Jeff's case, it's perfect because Jeff is Jeff. You know what I mean? Like, he's just an adorable land shark that has big puppy energy, and that MVP animation, I feel like, is like the perfect way to basically kind of show that. He's kind of like prancing around, he slips, he accidentally eats the camera, and then spits it out, and then licks it and be like, "Are you alright? Yeah, let's get back to playing." Like, this right here, this is perfect for Jeff. It's cute, it's like, you know, it's simple, it's Jeff. Like, you don't gotta go crazy for Jeff, honestly. You don't have to have any like super cool action poses. Just have him just have him be a little boy. Just be a little shark boy. Like, even this one, you see, like, he's building a little shark snowman. I think that's actually really cool. It's really adorable. Yeah, I think the lighting on this last frame is like really nice. Like, holy shit. I feel like the shading work on that one is like weirdly different. Like it's like weirdly like, I don't know, it just feels like higher like quality than the other ones have been. I mean, this is like a newer skin. This is like between season 0 and 1 for like the Christmas event, but this one's really good. I think this was really good. Like I said before, with Jeff, you just gotta go basic. Don't go overcomplicated, because it's just Jeff, you know? It's just Jeff. Yeah, you see, like, he's just Jeff. Just have him just kind of being a cute little guy. Can never really go wrong. Just running, just trying to go into the water. He fucking slips. He comes out, and he's a little dolphin. He's playing like he's a little dolphin. It's cute. You know, it's Jeff. It's Jeff. Honestly, that's all I can say. It's you know, it's Jeff. Like, I don't really think I have like any notes about this. It's just Jeff. He's cute. Cute little guy. All right, so Loki. Yeah, so for a basic one that's supposed to basically encapsulate the character, really good. Really good. I love even that the first clone hits the pose and just starts walking forward as he disappears. Second clone gives a little shush and he starts disappearing. Third clone, like the real Loki, hits his pose, right? And then he has like that shit-eating grin on his face. And I think that's so fucking good. I think that, like, to show Loki as a character and what he can do in this game, this is fucking perfect. To go straight, simple, to the point. This is this character. This is what they do in the game. Boom. So, like, actually, I think that is what... So, for the ones that are in, like, Hulk's, Groot's... Well, maybe not Groot's, but, like, Hulk's MVP animation is kind of missing this, you know, where it's like, what is it that he does in the game? Like, Hulk's one is like, you know, he kind of like, he runs, he jumps, he lands with an impact, so that's like a little bit of a hint of what he's got. But like, other than his big bulging muscles and like a little bit of like, because you can't really tell, you would have to play the game or know Hulk to know that the thing radiating off of him is like gamma energy. But like, if you didn't watch this, you can see him like surging with power, so you would just assume this boy is powerful, he's big, he can probably hit you. Like, that's about it. Like, I think this, instead of like hitting this pose, like if he did like a clap, or like his animation for when he sends out like the gamma shield, I think those would have been really nice like key poses for this, because it's like something that he genuinely does in the game. And like the only thing that this sells is like, oh, you know, he like runs and jumps, and like, you know, every character can fucking run and jump, obviously. But you would just have to infer by his big muscular body that this man probably just beats shit and smashes things because he's big and muscular. Which I guess, yeah, it does communicate what the Hulk is capable of doing in the game. But like, you know, I wouldn't mind if they also kind of like visually showed one of his moves. And I like that Loki's does that, you know, he has the illusions and then shit-eating grin. Like, that's Loki. He's a fuck, like, you like see this guy and he's like, all right, I can tell this man right here likes to fuck with people. I can tell this man likes to fuck with people. Alright, so the new skin he just got. Okay. You gotta be honest with me. That one fucks. That one fucks so hard. Like, seeing all, like, the fucking shit swirling off of him and, like, break off because he's, like, attached to it. And in that little pose before his shit-eating grin where you get that fucking, like, flash of a smile and it's like graffiti-esque, it like leans into the fucking horror, and it's like the flash frame for it too, like that red and into green flash frame. Like, that shit is so fucking dope. That is so fucking cool. I love this one so much. And he forms his weapon. Like, this one has such like, oh my god. And then like you see him like leaning into the swing as he's like pointing the shit forward. Like, oh my god, yeah, they heavily stepped their game up since season 0, and it fucking shows so much. Oh my god, this one's fucking perfect. This one's like perfect of the perfect. I have no notes of this, only admiration. Oh my god. And the little strut, like his walking pattern, like he has such a cocky little fucking walking pattern. Oh, so good. So this is another example of one. Wait, whoa, why am I T-posing? I just realized I'm fucking T-posing to match fucking Loki here. Hold on. 1 second, chat. Alright, there you go. I'm back. Okay, so this Loki one, because it's another one that's doing a moment in the show, it's basically kind of like, it's referencing, I believe, season 2 of Loki, but not only did it basically grab the moment well, but this added moment at the end where he looks at the camera, I think is actually what makes this an MVP intro worth getting. Like, this is really nice. This is like a such good added little detail where he looks at the camera basically kind of like content and like accepting the scenario, and like basically like, you know, this is what his life is going to be. This is his throne that he has been seeking for so long. This is basically Loki, and this is what he will be. And this right here is Loki at his greatest, in terms of like the character that the MCU built. And I think this is really good. There's not a single thing about this I could possibly dream to change. That's just great. Loki has such good MVP animations, man. That this guy fucking got away with murder on these shits. They're so good. All right, Luna Snow. So this right here for Luna Snow, her basic one is perfect, because what do you do with a K-pop superhero who has ice powers? Well, have her do a K-pop routine that has ice kind of coming out of her body. Like, this one's just like, this is perfect. This is literally Luna Snow. Like, what is she? From here, she is probably a music performer of some sort, and she might have ice powers. Yep, that's what you can tell. Like, it might show up a little bit like water in some moments because like the splashing and shit, but if you like look at the icicle on her chest, kind of like the glitteriness of her hands, you can kind of see that right there on the floor. It's like more frozen. You can kind of tell that these are ice powers, right? And so like this right here, and then like the little pose basically being like her hitting like that fucking boom, you know what I'm saying? And it's like perfectly like flowed in from this little move she's doing right here. Wait, hold on. This little move with her right hand, she's doing with her right hand, setting up the movement, the finishing motion with her left hand. Like, this one's fucking. Yeah, this one's perfect. This is Luna Snow. Period. You could not have thought of one that's better than this, in my opinion, anyway. And so this one also is basically another way of perfectly encapsulating her character and her theme. She's basically going down the stairs with a gala, and she's, because like, you know, she's getting pictures from like paparazzi and shit. Literally, you can have a bunch of key poses where she's just like taking a bunch of pictures, bam, bam, bing, and then pa, finish with this. And then this fits perfectly because, you know, she's already taking pictures, so these freeze frames all make sense. And so this is fucking, yeah, this is great for the, especially for the type of skin it is, like the high fashion ice aesthetic. This is great. This is fantastic. Like with Luna Snow, I couldn't give the animator for this any notes. I genuinely, like, I cannot imagine them doing anything different. That is just too fucking, that's too perfect. That is quite literally perfect. Magic. That one, so this one's interesting because I like that she comes out of the portal, and I like that she has like that big fucking heavy swing. And this key pose where she sinks the sword into the ground and you can see like all the embers coming up, this is really good. And it's crazy because like you could have also had that big swing moment be the key pose too, and it would have also been like valid. So like she's actually, because she ran the danger, right, of kind of dragging this out and having her key pose be bad because it chose the wrong moment instead of like the big swipe. But because the follow-up is her planting the sword and then kind of having like this like hands out, like, all right, you know, like, well, like, what's up, like, what the fuck do you want from me kind of shit. And she has like that look where she's looking dead at the camera, and even like the force of her putting the sword down is like flipping her hair in the air and shit and giving her hair like hang time. Like, yeah, this is really fucking strong. This is a really strong MVP animation for like the basic character. This is really strong because, like, well, what does it tell you that magic can do? She can come out of portals and she has a big ass sword. And let me tell you, yeah, magic comes out of portals in the game, and she has a big ass sword that she swings. Yeah, this is great. It's really great. I'm actually, if there's anything I will say about her MVP animations, I am surprised they don't lean into her Darkchild form as like part of the MVP animation. Not that they have to. I'm just surprised that they didn't, that they resisted the urge to, because like anyone, if anyone has a character that transforms or has a transformation, they're gonna definitely want to fucking like show off that transformation. Like, I fully believe that other games, other games would have gone for it. So it's really interesting that they don't go for it here. And in this fucking MVP animation, oh wait, so, okay, this MVP animation here, this fucking final frame here is, oh my fucking god. If I were to buy this skin, it's going to be this for this MVP animation, because this final moment right here is so fucking whoever cooked on this, I swear to god. Like, theoretically, everything that she's doing right here is very low action. She just walks up, summons her sword, and then poses with it, right? Theoretically. But it's just the way she does it, right? So she like struts up, summons the sword, we get the sword slowly coming up from below, and she brings it in close as the camera also comes in close, and we just kind of center. And the fact that the final flash is her perfectly being bisected with the sword in the frame. So it's basically, boom, just half her body, or bisected or dissected, I forgot which one it is. But like, half her body is visible, the other half is the fucking soul sword popping off. This is just, oh my fucking god. That's the MVP animation you shit yourself to, just out of sheer awesomeness, man. Magneto, let's get rid of the skin. So, really basic. Really basic, but not in a bad way, you know? Cause like the frame that it lands in is really good. Because basically we have Magneto. What does Magneto do? Well, he can form metal and use metal to his bidding, do shit with his metal. And so we have him literally form the fucking melee weapon that he has, the sword. And then he basically uses his metal powers, his magnetic powers, to kind of like prime it and then swing it. So like when he primes it, you can also see that the whole thing is glowing, like he's imbuing it with power. And it's not the same imbuement after he swings it, because you can see like the swing is releasing that power that he had. So it's like doing like this wave shit. So as a basic MVP animation for Magneto, I think this is good. This is really good. I don't think I would change much. It is admittingly a pretty like basic MVP animation for him, but I think for the base MVP animation for him, this is pretty good. It's not like better than others, but it's pretty good, you know? It's good. It's not bad, it's good. This shit right here, this one's really good. Because this one is basically meant to like embody the like Magneto that we know from like comics, you know, like the big ass X, the fucking Magneto helmet. Like this feels more like Magneto that I'm used to from like the little X-Men that I've seen. And like the fact that he kind of descends into the frame is really good. I think if there's one thing I would change about this animation is that I wouldn't have him descend with the little pieces of metal. I would just kind of have it like the metal as he's descending peeling off the X. Because like you see like he's already descending with the fragments with him. I would have it so that the pieces are kind of like descending and like ripping off the, not descending, but like ripping off the metal X that he places. And then like floating around him as he's descending, like kind of coming down with him, but like coming from the machine, then coming down with him, then just straight up coming down with him, because it kind of like, you know, shows off like the magnetic powers more. It kind of communicates the magnetism more. And I know Magneto's whole thing is not just that he's like basically magnet powers. Like I know he's like he can control and like form around metal and shit. Like he basically is like a metal bender, but still, like, you know. I think it'd just be kind of like a cool little like detail. So I get like that one I would put into kind of like, you know, choose one or two things. I also am not really, I should kind of, I think at the end I'm going to organize these specifically in their categories. Not like fully, I'm just gonna move like whichever ones I think is like the best in its category up. But yeah, I think this one's like pretty good. So this one right here, where he basically forms like the stage that he stands on, right? Because this is basically, what if Magneto, if he was a king? And I think this is really good. Like, it's pretty reserved, but not negatively. Because, you know, he's forming his stage so that he can basically greet his people, because Magneto here, he's the king. He's already kind of like won what he wanted. And he kind of just showing off his control over metal here to build his throne and then like wave to his people. I think for the storytelling of this skin, especially since like the final pose is basically all the love and adornment, I think this skin is really nice. If there's one thing I would add to this skin is I would make it so that have some cheering in the crowd actually. Cause like you have this final moment where like, you know, like it's like there's like rose petals falling and like, you know, it's from like the flowers and shit. And I'm assuming he's greeting a crowd. So I think it would actually kind of be, it would be kind of nice if he kind of had like some kind of a, like adornment, you know? Kind of like in the background, like as a sound effect. So I'm gonna put that one in, change one or two things. Where is the fucking, I gotta find it, oh right here. I would put that in change one or two things, but it's like almost perfect. Matter of fact, hold on, I'm gonna, these two Magneto ones, I'm gonna put above others because they're like basically there. It's just there's, yeah, with like this. They're like basically there. It's just like little things about them would make them better. Even like these, because like this one, this one at the end, and then like this one just before it, I think are like the ones where I'm like, yeah, you genuinely could have done more with it. This one actually also I can put up. This one's also pretty good. Yeah, okay. Moving on. That is Magneto. That is the boy Magneto. Mantis. She's got a good couple MVP intros. So this one's pretty basic. Yeah, this one's kind of basic. Like, really basic, actually. Because the only thing this kind of tells me about Mantis is that she might have some kind of like nature power, which is like, you know, she kind of has, like, she has the power of empathy, and like, you know, she does have like a lot of nature aesthetics on her, so it's kind of nice. This one's not terrible. It's just like it's like this one's like the first one where it's like it's basic a little bit negatively, only because it kind of leaves. This one's like the first basic one where it feels like it leads a little bit to the imagination. I don't know. Maybe it could have used like one more thing, but I don't know what the one more thing could be. Because it's not like this final pose is bad. I think it's actually really good, and like that she like kind of has like the nature magic and shit, and like it kind of like explodes out as she does like the palm. I don't know. You know what? I think I'll kind of put that as like low perfect, because I don't really. It's basic. It's basic, not in a negative way. Actually, sorry. It's basic, kind of in a negative way. Yeah, you know what? Actually, not. I'll just put it like high here. It's a basic in a slightly negative way. I would say for this one. So this one, I've seen a lot of, especially because of the battle pass. I'm not too much of a fan of this one. Like, I like I like that they looked. What is this, like Idrisil? It looks kind of like no, I think that's. Is this Idrisil or Empire of Wakanda map? They used one of the maps to make this, it feels. But I do like that at least for her skin, like the cybernetic skin, they kind of made her feel like weightless because she lands and there's no like footsteps. It's kind of like the little, and then like she kind of does like this little display of like focus and like kung fu and power. She's like, you know, dancing around, and then she brings it close and she has like that moment of rest. It's all right. Yeah, honestly, it's all right. It's just more along the lines of like, as a skin for Mantis, like what does this tell me about Mantis as a character? Because I don't really see Mantis as like this like kick-ass fucking like warrior combatant. But I guess that's like the fantasy that the skin's trying to do, is like, what if she was a cyber ninja? Which, if they're going for like, what if she's like a cyber ninja? It's just like, well, if Mantis was a cyber ninja, I guess she would have like, you know, like her showing off her martial arts and then like inner peace at the end. So if that's what they're going for, I would put it like, you know, it's kind of, they got it right. It's not bad. They got it right. This is basically what you would do. It's just kind of not something I really like for her. I'm not really a fan of like the what if she's like now like good at combat and she's like all about combat, like hand-to-hand combat. But I don't think that's like a criticism of the MVP animation or anything. It's just my own personal bias. See, like in this one, it's like, you know, the power of empathy, right? And I do like that every time she rings out, it's like a pulse and it's like a little like chime almost bell. It's really cute. And it's like, you know, Guardians of the Galaxy. It's kind of terrifying that she has that big ass creature behind it. It looks like it's about to eat her shit. It's pretty fucking hilarious. I guess if there's one thing I would change about this one is, I don't know if she does it in the movie. Actually, I don't even know if she even does like the dinging in the movie, but I would have her little mandibles here, kind of like, you know, twitch on beat to the ringing. Again, actually, I have to like rewatch Guardians of the Galaxy. I think she's like in 2, right? 2 and 3. I'll have to rewatch those to know if her little things twitch around as she twitches. But this one's not bad. Yeah, this one's cute. You know, it's like, this is basically kind of like Mantis. She's a cute queen of empathy girl. Yeah, that one's alright. That one's pretty good. I actually, yeah, just low version of change 1 or 2 things. Actually, no, sorry, up here. Change your 1 or 2 things because it's kind of basically perfect. Oh wait, she has one more. I forgot she just got a new one. Again, I feel like this one's kind of retreading the Cyber Ninja territory. Just now she's just like more human, more draconic, I guess. Like if it more of like, what if a dragon was a human? It's not a bad one for her, but because of like the fact that she's basically all about like empathy and she's a healer, I would kind of prefer it if she was doing more like meditating stuff. Like, you know, like kind of like how Doctor Strange is basically, he never leaves his meditation form, even though he's doing his magic. It'd be kind of nice. MVP for her. I actually kind of wonder why they're like so hell-bent on giving Mantis like all these kind of like kung fu little skins. It's interesting. It's not bad, at least for the aesthetic that they're trying to build within this universe, where she's kind of like a humanoid dragon. I think that's like kind of alright. I do like this final pose. It's alright, yeah. I mean, I don't think it really fits Mantis, but I guess it might fit Mantis in like that universe. I don't know. I think it's like, this is another one. All of Mantis's ones kind of feel like they just need like one little thing. I don't know. Maybe it's just because so far all of them, except for like the basic one, hasn't really been my aesthetic. Actually, the Guardians of the Galaxy one, I kind of like feel like it fits her. Same thing with the basic one. The basic one, the Guardian of the Galaxy one, in my eyes, would be the ones I would go for with her. I would go for like a lot of gentle animations for her. And it's not wrong to deviate from that for a skin. Like, I guess if you're gonna deviate for that, you can. And I actually agree. Like, that's why I put the Cyber Ninja one up here, because, you know, it's a good deviation from it. I just kind of feel like this one, the new Celestial Dragon one, like the Dragon one, kind of, what is it called? The skin? What the fuck is it called? Jade Maiden. The spiritual prodigy, garbed in green akin to jade, her hair flowing like clouds. Hair flowing like clouds? I don't know if I agree with that one. As a master of martial arts, wields fists as mighty as a dragon. Each movement is a dance surrounded by spiritual energy, revered by living beings. Yeah, like, I mean, even with that being said, I guess it's kind of like a dance of martial arts. I don't know, I just kind of feel like this MVP intro kind of already does this aesthetic, which is kind of better. Even with like the last pose it does, it kind of does it what this one's trying to do, but like better. I don't know, that's just my opinion. That's actually my opinion there. And I think actually because of that, I'm gonna actually adjust how I feel about these two. Because I feel the Jade Maiden one is not on the same level that I feel as the other two animations are. Okie dokie. Mr. Fantastic. Let's see yours. Yep. Hey, this one is another good one. It's great. It basically tells you what about Mr. Fantastic. He stretches, he's rubbery, and he's a pretty cool, he's a pretty chill guy. A little thumbs up with a little ding sound effect. I think this one's for Mr. Fantastic. I think this is pretty perfect as is. Honestly, not much to say about this one. I think it's actually really cool. I like the impact. I like that we come in with him already winding up the first punch against the ground. And the sound effects are doing a really good job of selling the impact of like his two slams. Let's check this other one. Oh my god, yeah. Ooh. I like the beginning part of this a lot. Like the moment where like he looks over and it's like he doesn't like slowly look over, he like juts over, like it kind of feels really horrific. And you like to have that chromatic aberration before he looks over, where like something doesn't feel like right for that moment and he just fucking swoops in, grabs you, and it's like that spooky shit. I really like that. I actually don't like the last pose of it, where like it's like not this goopy shit. Like, I mean, like, hold on, let's see, is there me? I'm Reed Richards, the ultimate Reed Richards. I'm the one who's going to solve everything. I'm the maker. I'm not too familiar with the maker, but if this has something to do with you getting caught and then like being brought into his like particles or some shit, and then like he's like releasing these particles because he's like overjoyed that he just kind of like killed someone, then yeah, I see that as a good follow-up for the posing. But if this is just kind of like a different thing because like, oh, by the way, the maker can also do this, I feel like they should have just kind of left it at the key pose being something along the lines of like after you got caught and shit. But it's not terrible. If it's the former, this is perfect. If it's the latter, I would change that. But I don't really know too much off the top of my head, so I'm just gonna put it in perfect prematurely and just say, or not prematurely, but I'm gonna put it in perfect, just like off rip. And yeah, because it's like, I like it. I actually like that. I really like the beginning part a lot. I like this fucking like, I'm a sucker for things that are horror-esque. So that shit fucking does it for me. It does it for me quite well. Moon Knights. Swap it off to the MVP. So I think Moon Knights is perfect, and I'm not biased because Moon Knight's my favorite Marvel character. I think this is actually really good because what does Moon Knight do in this game? He throws his little moon shaped little, I forget what they're called, but he throws his moon blades and he can glide. That's like, for a basic thing for Moon Knight, like the basic fucking posing and shit, I think it's really good. Gives really Batman vibes, but like also kind of Moon Knight kind of does have a good amount of overlap with like Batman aesthetic, so it's fine that he does. I think this is really good. I like this. I like this a lot. Moon Knight, perfect. Hell yeah, dude. Oh my god. Mr. Knight, I think, is also a good one because you have this moment where he's just kind of like facing you, and it's like that little moment of like. So what I like about this MVP animation is while he's staring at you in this pose, like he furrows his brow, and there's like this moment where like the screen pulses, and it's like that unease of like, oh shit, like something's about to fucking go down. Like he senses it, or there's like a change in him. And that's really on fucking brand with Moon Knight, considering this man and his multiple personalities. I think this is really fucking cool. I like that he kind of adjusts his glove, grabs his shit, and he's ready to go, and then you got that moon painted on the wall behind him. I think this is really fucking nice. So especially if you want to go for like a nice corporate skin, kind of like suited up, not corporate, but like suited up skin, and like the posing on it, I think it's really fucking good. I do like that his posing kind of like pushes forward. He pushes his chest out to one side and leans back so that his cape can kind of occupy the space behind him, the empty space behind him. I think that's really fucking well done. That is going into perfect. So this is a new one. That one's nice. I really like that he's like swatting away like whatever those like creatures things are. Something about that final pose is like, I think I've actually would have slowed down the transition into that final pose a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I would have like kind of built up more, like slowly him entering that pose and then snapping into the pose at the end. I do like that little moment where we get a side profile and it looks like the scroll behind him is burning away from like his radiant energy. Right here, like you can see like the scroll burning away from his radiant energy. I think that's really good, and his last pose is really good. I just feel like the entrance into it is a little like awkward. I don't know. So yeah, I think this is really good. If there's one thing I would change, is kind of like slow down the entrance into the final pose a bit. But other than that, I think it's pretty good. Put it like high up here. Alright, that's Moon Knight. Namor. Yep, that's really good. So, Namor. Again, what does Namor do? He's got aquatic creatures, and he's got a fucking spear. Like, he has a trident, and those are two things that basically tell you, as a really basic thing, this is really good for Namor. I like that the water is basically following his motion to kind of like sell the swing that he does. I like that you can see the light coming off the eyeball, and his spear is kind of like trailing behind him and stuff, like in the air. I really like that. I like that you can see him kind of brace for the jump, and like he twirls the spear as he's falling down. I think this is really good. For a basic MVP animation of like the character, this is really good. This is Namor. So this MVP animation for Namor is referencing the film, and I think it's nice, but I feel like the key pose at the end, basically having him be back underwater, is like a little weird, only because it's like Namor is the underwater guy, like he's like the king of the sea and shit, or whatever the fuck he wants to call himself. and so like, you know, you gotta sell it in like the key pose, but I feel like the fact that he kind of comes out of the water, jumps like a bunch of times into the air, and then like the final swing is basically him back in the water, it just kind of feels weird. I think if I would change this one, I would have it so that after the first two jumps, he would like fall back into the water and swing down, kind of like bringing his target into the ocean with him. And so like, you know, he's bringing you on his turn, on his land, on his turf, I should say. Yeah, I think that's like the only thing I would really change about it. So I would put in like change one or two things. I think I'm gonna reevaluate this and do change most things for the group one. And now that I've seen that what the other movie ones can have, I think I would also put this in change most things. Actually, not change most things. It's not that bad. But it could use a difference. I think this one I would change into change most things. The Hulk one, I would basically kind of change that into a completely different animation, if I could. Not, I guess completely remake. Actually, yeah, I'll do completely remake. I would actually no, because the running jump is not bad. It's just like have him do something at the end. So change most things, yeah. It's tough. Actually, I gotta define better what's between change one or two things or change most things. I guess like change one or two things, it's like little tweaks. So yeah, I guess I'll do like little tweaks. I'll change this to like little tweaks. And then this is just like, all right, change some things. There you go. That I feel like that's a things. I feel like that's a better separation of the tiers here. Penny Parker. Alrighty. So, Penny Parker as basically the girl in the mech, the diva. The diva, what that's not diva. This is perfect. Because she fucking hops up the mech, she strikes a pose, and she even lands and does a little heart. Like, that's... If you're gonna write the diva of Marvel Rivals, this is how you would do the posing for it. So I think as a basic one, this is really good for Penny. I really like this one. The background is a little plain, but again, this is basic. It's basic Penny Parker. I think it's fine. Where's Penny Parker? Why am I blind? Why am I blind? Oh, I didn't even fucking rank the Magic ones. Oh, Magic has a Christmas one too. All right, hold on. I gotta go back and rank the Magic ones. Magic goes there. And then let me grab the Christmas Magic. Where's Christmas Magic? This is Christmas Magic. 1 second. Actually, let me get rid of this. Get rid of you. Silence you. All right, let's look at this Christmas Magic one. Yeah, I think this one's actually pretty good. Cause you know, it's like a joking skin. She's like snowboarding and shit. I actually think that's pretty well done. And I like that she has like little like camera shots moments and shit. I will say, turning her fucking blade into like a chain snowboard is crazy fucking creative. I think that's fucking cool. And I like that. I like the final pose here because, you know, it's like she's already taking photos, so it kind of makes sense that her last pose would basically almost look like her posing for yet another photo of her on the ice or her on the snow. And that's actually really dope. All right, so okay, I didn't miss anyone else. Okay, so yeah, I think in terms of like where that is, I'm gonna put that one in perfect. And the Penny Parker one, I'm gonna put in perfect as is. All right, so going crazy. Ooh. Yeah, this one's really cool. I feel like if you're gonna do any of the spider characters, they gotta be web slinging. They gotta be web slinging. If you're gonna have them in these MVP animations, they gotta be web slinging. I love that she web slings and then she fires, she lands, and then boom, that fucking, and then the fucking metal clang, the fucking sell it, the bing, and you can even see there's some like distortion and like chromatic aberration going on. Yeah, like right here, like it's glitching. There's like glitches in the film and shit. Oh yeah, this one's fucking raw. Yeah, this one's fucking dope. Hell yeah. Perfect as is. I don't even know what I could change about this. This one's fucking dope. I like that one a lot. Magic. Oh, that's so good. I like that I like the fucking flaring of her hair in clothes as she's like disappearing, and like you can see her like summoning and welling up her power. And I like that her eye color changes when she's like gets like the butterfly effect. You see the pink over her eyes and shit. Yeah, oh man, when she's activating her effect. And I like that the camera kind of does like this effect of someone looking around of like, whoa, where'd she go? And she appears in the air, already spinning and attacking, and in the fucking key pose with the butterflies and their fucking sword. This shit is so delectably Naruto ninja that it's fucking great. It's actually perfect. This one's good. Ooh. Ooh, talk about strong final poses. Let me tell you something. The beginning of this is so like subdued and calm. It's just like the butterfly coming to her hands, and it so pays off because the second she closes her hand, it becomes a small blade. Then she spins that with like her small blade and the katana to create the fucking like arc in the circle around her, and then ending on that fucking like 90-degree angle pose with her short bladed and katana, and then like the moon behind her. Oh, this is so fucking, the fucking motion of her hair to follow like the action that she just did. Oh, they like really sell like the action of the pose she just took and shit. Yeah, this is oh my god, perfect as is. High fucking perfect, man. I don't know if I'm gonna like really adjust like the perfects, like where they sit within your tier, but oh, this one's fucking great. Oh, that one's fucking great. Alright, let's check out Rocket. Ooh, I like this. I like how chaotic it feels, because he's like coming in, he like flies almost into the camera, turns around and starts shooting shit, and then he's flying up again to cause more mayhem elsewhere. Very basic, very good description of what Rocket can do. He can jetpack around, and he's got a machine gun. This is Rocket. He is a scrappy little raccoon, or not raccoon, sorry, he's a scrappy little guy, and the fucking MVP shows it. Okay, so this is selling the movie, right? The movie moment. And this first part where he's like running off the Groot branch and he's shooting off the gun is really good. I just don't like this final pose he lands in. It's like weirdly like something weirdly like too like furry fandom of that. I don't know how to say it. But he's just kind of like very human. And like he doesn't really give off his like scrappiness here. Cockiness a little bit. he kind of feels like, you know, maybe he's like a little gruff and shit, but I don't know. I don't like this final pose. I think this one is pretty good for this moment, but I think it falls flat on this final pose. I think this final pose could have been better. Honestly, I think I would change some things for that instead of little tweaks. I think I would completely change what his final pose is. If anything, I'm actually more inclined to make it that his final pose is like the fucking firing. Like if you can like do like a more dramatic camera movement that leads into the fire and like have the fire be charged, that can be still like the movie moment and have it kind of be cooler, or just something else. Like this final pose, I don't know. I don't think I like it. See, this one's great, cause this one is like basically outlaw Scrappy. He doesn't like the fucking wanted poster. This shit's fucking dope. Like this is Wild West as fuck. Like here in the beginning where he's like first looking at it, there is a little bit like kind of furriness to it, but it's not even like bad. It's not like the other moment where it just kind of like gives him a different personality. This one kind of like, you know, yeah, he sees this poster, he's like, yeah, fuck this poster. Let's fucking blow it up. Let's just fucking shoot it into smithereens. Like this is dope. I like this. I like the music to pair with it too. Yeah, and I like that he kicks the gun up to like fucking that little flare where he kicks the gun to wield it. Yeah, that one I'm gonna add to perfect. I think that one's pretty good. Hell yeah. Scarlet Witch. Pretty good. Pretty good. So you know, like, what is Scarlet Witch? Like, you just see like these orbs of power that she's summoning. You see a pentagon come around her. I do like that the pentagon kind of like expands when she like combines them, and so it becomes fucking like more crazy, I guess, chaotic, demonic. I also like her hair being kind of like all over the place. Also really sells this and like the motion of it, and all like the flowiness of her orb kind of coming around. And I like that the rune in the orb is constantly changing. Like you see right here, like they start like swapping runes and shit. Like I think that's actually really cool, because it kind of makes it feel like it's chaotic. Like you don't know what the fuck rune she's like landing on. She's doing a bunch of demon shit. So like as a exploration of Scarlet Witch, I think that is pretty damn good. It is pretty damn good. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. That is for this one. Alright, next one. Oh, fuck yes. Oh, fuck yes. Listen, again, the fucking horror. Oh my god. I love that it feels like she's like really ripping her shit out, and you can see everything distorting and stuff. Oh, and then a pentagon behind her. Yeah, oh my god. This is so fucking cool. Like, I feel like this skin for her is mostly worth buying because of this MVP animation. Cause this shit is so fucking cool. Fucking hell yeah. That shit is so fucking cool. That one is perfect. Perfect for sure. And in this one, compared to the other two, is pretty subdued. But because of the aesthetic that the skin is going for, I actually think it fits. Because this version of Scarlet Witch is very fucking calm. Which is ironic to say because of all like the chaos and like demon magic and shit, but like, look at her face. It's like very calm, very stoic. You know, there's no hesitation, there's no like uncertainty. She's just very, you know, she's gonna fuck your shit. That is the end of that, and that is the pose. And I actually really like the skin for that. Yeah, I actually really like this MVP for that. I think it's actually really good. I like that it's like all the power kind of coming in. I like that she hits the pose before the power accumulates in her hands. So like she kind of feels like she's like catching all the power. And then she like brings it in and then poses with it. I think that's really good. I think that's actually really good. Spider-Man. Hell yeah. That is fucking Spider-Man as shit. Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, gotta have him do a wave, swings away, and then he's got this little action shot where he's shooting the webs, and I actually, ooh, I really like the fucking webbing. Yeah, look at that. Oh my god. And like the fucking, like having his fingers and his feet like being so close to the camera. Like this feels like such classic Spidey. This is so fucking Spidey. It's crazy. This one's going in perfect. This one is definitely going in perfect. Ooh. Ooh, and then they have the other Spidey skins to basically kind of fill in for what would be. This is doing a lot. Like this, okay, this MVP animation is actually doing a lot here. Cause like, you got it you first got him coming in, and then you have like the comic little jump off, and then you get the pictures from Peter Parker, and he's like posing for each picture. Cause like, you know, like Peter Parker's whole thing is like the cameras and shit and taking pictures of Spider-Man, cause he is Spider-Man. So, and I like that when he jumps off, there's like that little like comic frame of himself there, and like the landing with the other two Spider-Man. Like this is really good. This is actually really nice. Yeah, these all feel so fucking like, and even the Spidey sense as he's like landing with them because they just showed up. Like these all feel like such good Spidey. Like it just feels like Spidey. Like these all feel so perfectly fucking Spidey, you know. This one's fucking nice. I love the fucking desperation of it where he's just like, a bag? Alright, fuck it, we'll just use the bag. Yeah, let's just throw it on. And then fucking hop over and then... Oh my god, this one's fucking cute. This is cute. I get the bag's already like a graffiti on the wall. Cause like, why the fuck not? Yeah, this is cute. This one's good. I wouldn't change anything about it. I think for what it is, I think for what it is, it's great. It's perfect as is. I wouldn't change much about it. God damn, that's fucking good. Alright, let's see. Squirrel Girl. I mean, yeah, it's Squirrel Girl. She's a squirrel girl. So, she's got a squirrel. And she's got her slingshot. Yeah, Squirrel Girl. It's cute. It's a nice little pose. Like a kind of like a, what is it? What's the name of that? It's like, I think, Betty or Susan? She's like doing one of the classic old, like, not propaganda, but like, you know, like women empowerment posters. I think it really fits. Yeah, that's a pretty good pose. Perfect as is. I wouldn't really change much. That's cute. I like that last pose. That also feels like very timely. I'm gonna have to look into this character because why does she feel like so of her time? You're doing like not even 80s or 90s. I don't know what specifically which era specifically, but this kind of feels like so like retro in a great way. It's so cute. It's so fun. They had a lot of I like the dancing, the fucking spotlight. I like that the squirrel has its own little bandana. And this last pose is really nice. It's cute. And this one she just got, right? That's cute. Yeah, so this one's cute. You know, it's just like Squirrel Girl, like the mischievous, she's playing with the little ball thingy. Yeah, it's cute. It's cute. It's just like, you know, it's like lighthearted, it's cute, it's mischievous. I feel like Squirrel Girl, in a weird way, is kind of similar to Jeff, where it's just kind of like, just play into the cuteness, play into like the fucking little like playful nature, and it's just like, yeah, you know. And then that's the character. There's not really much else you have to like tell about the character, much else you have to sell. It's just, you know, it's cute. She likes to hang around for squirrels, and she's, you know, mischief comes about. Yeah, she's just chilling. She's a chill dude. All right, pulling up on the final 7, Star-Lord. That's a really good one. That's a really good one. See, another one. So Star-Lord, what's he got? You see him doing his fucking jet boots. You see him doing his fucking, I forget the name of the move, but it's like where he's shooting all around him and shit. See, you know, this guy, he's all about his fucking, he's all about his speed and his 2 guns. So you can tell this man has speed and 2 guns, and his fire coming off his guns because speed, because he's 2 guns, because he's Star-Lord. Hell yeah. This is a really good one, and it's a nice action pose for the end. This is a really basic one, but it's basic, again, in a good way if it's the base one, because it's just supposed to tell what the character is. I think that does a good job. Ooh. I like his fucking face a lot. I like that shit-eating grin he has in his skin. That first fucking like pose he hits when he fucking comes in. That is such a good fucking, I like that when he first enters. Like this right here, where he just fucking whoop, and he's like radiating. It's like this is nice. It's actually pretty good. It's cool. It's nice, short, simple. It's actually pretty dope. And I think the face at the end kind of like brings this back in to be like Star-Lord. Like that just like little subtle little smirk he's got that gives him like the attitude. Like this definitely fucking brings it back in to be Star-Lord with his cockiness. So I like that. I like that it grounds this like skin back into like Star-Lord. I think that one's pretty fucking good. That one's pretty good. It's a movie moment. It's good action. We're just like, what does it feel like it's missing something? Because I like that he's running in. I like that he's shooting, he's sliding. He does one more shot before Groot shields him. And he does like this like double-sided take. Like, you know what I think it is? I think I wouldn't have him walk off screen to hit this pose. Because it feels like something is like missing once he goes off screen to like land on this pose. I don't know. But like, I think it's because he goes off screen and it like appears again to like hit this pose that it just kind of feels like... Because presumably he's going off screen to hit this pose, so it should be just like one and another. But it's just the fact that it cuts makes it feel like there's something missing here. I don't know. And I don't even know if like this posing is like the strongest posing you could have done. Or maybe, is it the face that he has that kind of bugs me about this posing? Yeah, because he kind of has like a pretty blank face. I'm surprised he's not like more focused or more like, yeah, he's just like very basic face. He's kind of like almost T-posing with his guns here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie to you, chat. I'm not really feeling that one. Oh, I didn't fucking rank the rocket ones. Oops. This one is his basic one. I think his basic one is perfect. I think, oh, he has a fucking Christmas one. I'm so bad at remembering these. Where did I put his Guardians of the Galaxy? Oh, that is his Guardians of the Galaxy one. I think the Guardians of the Galaxy, no, that's the Guardians. Yep. I think that one is perfect. Gunslinger's there. Where's the other Star-Lord? What's the one that I'm doing right now? This one. Yeah, I think I would change some things. I would change some things about this. I'm not too happy about this one. All right, so let's look at the rocket one I missed. Need to put the fucking thing to the side. Okay, that's cute. That's cute. I like that he comes out, causes a little bit of Christmas mayhem. I feel like the little tweak I would say is this moment right here feels like it's like weirdly missing sound effects. It feels like weirdly like it's missing certain sound effects. And so I would kind of like add more. I don't know what sound effects I would like, maybe like some noises from him. Cause it's like kind of like weirdly silent. Like certain things about it are weirdly silent. Cause you can hear him shooting and shit. And like the sounds of him swooshing around. But like, I think the fact that he doesn't make a noise in that one makes it feel weird. Like he himself doesn't talk or like make any grunts or noises or like haha or anything. Which I don't think any of them do. It's just, it feels weird in that one. I'll do that. I'll put that in little tweaks. Okay, so moving on from Star-Lord. Storm. The goddess. We'll go basic skin. Yeah, that's really good. So she puts her hand up to catch some lightning, conjure lightning, and release. Really good. Really basic, really good. That is Storm. If there's one thing you can understand from this is that she definitely has lightning powers. Maybe even some wind in there. But the wind could also be a part of the lightning. But I think that's pretty basic in a good way, because it basically tells you that is Storm, that is what she can do, and that is what she will do. I'll put that in perfect. I don't think I have any notes about this. Actually, that's a lie. Small tweak to make. Make the wind a little bit more present. Like, I would have wind bellowing below her before she does the turn. Just so it's, like, more obvious that she can, like, control wind also. But other than that, yeah. That would be my one tweak. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty punk. Actually, I really like the graffiti behind her and shit. I like that every time she's like head banging and shit, you can hear like the lightning, like the static. You can feel it also in the air. I think this is actually really good. I also like that final little pose that she, or the pose she does before she starts charging with her fingers, where it's like little finger guns in either direction. Or not finger guns, but like little demon horns. Yeah. That one's pretty good. I would not change this one. I think that one is pretty damn good. Mr. Punisher, basic skin, let's see it. Yep, that is Punisher. Again, with the MVPs, the basic MVPs, tell me what the character does in the game. And he does smokescreen, and he has 2 guns. That is the character. He is gun mixed shooter man. He has guns, he shoots guns, guns shoot you in the face. That is Punisher. He's a boy with guns. That is Mr. Punisher. I like that a lot. Yep. Yeah, get in there, Punisher. Oh, fucking hell yeah. I like that he kicks down the wall, and like they have like that little moment where you kick, like it's like kind of like holding on the kick, breaking open the wall, and then you see like the fucking like activation of his eyes, like fucking anime ass fucking lightning going up his mask, and then like shing on his fucking eyes and shit, and he just starts letting it fucking rip. Oh yeah, and I like the hiss of the fucking rocket launcher as it shoots off. This is fucking nice. I'm glad one of his MVP animations shows off his ultimate. That's actually something I noticed that a lot of the MVPs don't really do that, do they? Kind of showing off the ult. Yeah. Some of them do. Like the Cap one is basically his ult. The Luna one is basically her ult. The Jeff one is technically his ult. Interesting. Okay. Thor Thor. Mr. Thor. Yeah. I've seen this Thor one a bunch. I really fucking love that it starts with him like walking forward from this angle and you can see him fucking catching the hammer, spinning it around to gather its energy and then fucking bringing it down. This feels so fucking badass. This one's really good. Yeah, that's fucking Thor. Fuck yeah, man. Hell yeah. That one is fucking perfect as is. I wouldn't change much about this. I wouldn't change anything really about that one. This one's cool. I really like that it's black and white until he breaks free and then he shoots the lightning forward. If there's one thing I would tweak is the camera work right here. You see how like he like brings the hammer back to like shoot it forward? I feel like the distance between his face and chest and like the hammer should be kind of exaggerated a little bit. Could like to like really emphasize that he's like wheeling it back and like charging it and then boom forward, you know what I mean? That would be like the one thing I would change. Cause like I feel like the final like thrust forward is not as strong. But everything leading up to it is really fucking nice. So that one I'm gonna put in little tweaks. Ooh, this one's nice. A little, I like the starry effect. Ooh, actually, hold on. Did you catch that? I really like his head and lightning in his hair, like all freaking out when he's doing like the final charge at the end. Like you see like kind of like the instability of it. It's not just like there's no like smooth flow. It's just like it's like staticky. His movements get a little staticky up there. I think that's nice. If anything, I feel like the last swing down should be a little faster. Because it does feel a little slow. But that one's really nice. I would put that under like really low little tweak. Because all they gotta do is just kind of make that last swing a little faster. Because like it feels like a little slower because you can see him bring the hammer back. Like you can see the camera just before he fucking swings it down. Like he brings the hammer down a little bit and then he swings it down. Like he himself descends and then he swings it down. I feel like if it was just kind of like all one strong motion, it would be so fucking strong. Maybe he is descending with it. It's just the camera angle is weird. But either way, this one's really good. I would just kind of like shorten that by like not even a lot, like literally like 0.0 seconds. I would shorten that one by. All right, we're moving on to Venom. I'm just gonna let this one play because Venom's intro is so fucking. Oh my god, it's so good. I fucking love Venom's intro animation so fucking much. The fucking red taking over everything where he's just fucking screaming and everything's wild and crazy. It's I like Venom. I like horror, and Venom is just fucking. Yep, the web slinging, foreshortening, claw on your face, goop everywhere, fucking crazy ass tongue. This is fucking Venom, and I like the screech that he does. Oh, fucking. That shit's fucking horrifying in the best way possible. I fucking love this thing for Venom. Genuinely. Oh, so good. And I like that unlike the other Spidey people, where he's not swinging off the environment, he's swinging, he's webbing you to pull you in so he can just fucking just tear you apart. So good. This one's kind of good. I feel like there's like weirdly something kind of contradicting about it. Like you see how it starts with him kind of doing like the fucking like tongue out licking all this shit, but then he like closes up, becomes like more reserved, and then kind of hits his pose. Like it feels like it goes from like freaky to like just kind of like, you know, like alien. which is like a freaking alien can kind of play in the same fields often. But like I feel like the tongue should have been part of the ending too. Like, or like at least show his teeth off here. Yeah, I think I would kind of, I'm gonna put this one under kind of like little tweaks. I would have either show his teeth or his tongue in this final frame, because I don't like that it kind of shows up in the beginning, but then like the rest of this animation doesn't really fit that part of him really, because like not even like the symbiotic arm turning into a blade kind of fits really, because he feels a little cybernetic already, like a little cyborg-ish, like him summoning the weapon kind of feels like, and it doesn't really feel as liquidy kind of, so it feels more like a thing of the robot parts of him, which like it makes sense, he is kind of like pretty robotic here. But like if you're gonna go through the effort of having him like kind of still bare his teeth and show his tongue off, like, you know, kind of have that be part of the key pose in the end. Because like this last pose wouldn't be harmed by him showing his teeth here. Like still gritting, showing his teeth. Yeah. Alright, so he has a winter one. I actually remembered it this time. So let's check out the winter one. See, like that, right there. Like you can still have him smile and show the teeth. This is exactly what I was looking for. He looks fucking terrifying here. Like this being a freeze frame, like this doesn't give me happy, like, oh, you know, because everything else is like the music is put. Oh my god, that frame. Oh my god, yeah, that fucking. Can I find that flash frame? I just found that by accident. But I like this fucking like stretching that he does to the camera. As he's like going to fucking grab it, like they fucking play with the angle and they have his body be stretched so the fuck back. And fucking YouTube compressing, but they have his body stretched so the fuck back, and he has like chromatic aberration for the uneasiness of it as he's trying to bite the snowflake. And then like it makes it in, and oh wow, he just has chromatic aberration the whole way. Oh my god, this is good. This last thing right here with his teeth is what I wanted this skin to do. Yeah, man, this one's going into perfect as is for sure. Perfect as is for sure. All right, Winter Soldier. Let's see your MVPs. Yeah, it's basic. I mean, it shows what he's got, you know. It's like that weird tentacle shit in his arm and the gun. Like that's Bucky. That's basic, you know. It's like one of the weaker ones, but it's Bucky, you know. He's got the weird arm and he's got the gun. That is Mr. Bucky. Okay. I don't know the story significance behind the skin or this moment, so forgive me when I say this, but this one's boring. So like the clock ticking into the final pose is telling me that this man is sitting down to make one final decision, because he looks like he's in a cab place. He's looking at the gun. He's looking distraught, and he's looking up as the clock's ticking, and like assumably a decision has been made about what he's going to do with his like morals or whatever the fuck that's happening here. But like without the context of that scene, kind of, this is kind of, this one's kind of ass. Because like even if you're gonna have the moment basically be kind of like him come to like this moment where he looks at the camera and he's just like, I'm gonna fuck shit up, have the camera zoom in on his face, have him take like have Have this part of it, hold on, wait until it leans forward. Have this be the whole frame. Like, emphasizes, like, his face and shit. Like, the intensity of it. Because other than that, this is a pretty boring MVP. Not gonna lie to you. Especially since, like, it feels like you need context to really get this one. Let's play. Bro, it looks like he's done playing. Yeah, I don't know. I might be missing the point on that one, but I would change some things for sure. Assuming that this is like a reference to something, or like based off of something, or it's like a moment, I would only change some things. If this has nothing to do with a moment in like his story or anything, I would completely remake it for sure. Fucking Super Saiyan ass Wolverine. Yeah, that's Wolverine, man. I love this fucking, like, right here. See him pull out his claws as he's running, and we get the fucking camera zoom from like the point of view of the tip of his claws and shit. Yeah, this is really good. This is Wolverine. This is Wolverine doing Wolverine things, man. Hell yeah. This, as a reference to the Deadpool movie, is really good. And what I actually like that they added to do like a little bit of flair to it is by having it the final frame flashes 3 times. That is a good little additive to it. That definitely helps sell this moment. Oh yeah. I think that one's pretty. I accidentally put the other one in perfect as is, but you know what? It works out. It's still perfect as is. There's actually little tweak. One little thing I would add, because this skin is basically, this MVP is like basically perfect. The little tweak I would add is like make it a little bloodier. Oh, I mean, like, I know because like censorship reasons you probably couldn't, but like I feel like with the brutality of this moment, like the red swipes and like the little lightnings from it's supposed to kind of like replicate that, but I feel like having like certain like blood splattering on him, or just something to show like the brutality of whatever the fucking just went in there, would go so fucking hard for that moment. This man jumped up to fucking claw the moon, bruh. This one's pretty cool. I feel like a little tweak I would make for this is this moment right here, where he's doing like the zooming around, and then that just kind of jump cutting to him, like jumping up from far away. I feel like that's a little like, that jump cut kind of like breaks the moment a little bit, especially since the music trails off. It kind of breaks the moment a little bit and kind of gives it like a little like confusing, not confusing, but like, you know, you can get that it's supposed to be like watching him soar from far away. But I don't know if I would make the music pause there, or like trail off there. It just kind of feels weird to have him like have it trail off there. And then also like that little final like impact frame of him going upward, I would have that kind of like last a little longer, so that it transitions into him soaring in through the sky a little better. But this last frame goes fucking hard. Look at the fucking arms. I like that it's like one glowing eye and it's like a trail. This MVP intro goes fucking hard. If it's just that little moment where he's like you see him from afar, that's the only thing that's like the pace breaker. I would change that moment, because it's oh, I would tweak it, because it's definitely pace breaking. Yeah, that would be the one thing I would change, because it's just a little pace breaking. That's just about it. But yeah, those are the MVP. Those are the MVPs for all the characters as of season 1 right now. Looking back at this list, are there any things I would change around? Let's see. Are there any of these I would change around? I kind of feel the same about like a lot of these. I feel like these are kind of all great as it is, at least for what they were trying to convey. The little tweaks. Let's see. Little tweaks. I think these are also fine. Change some things. See, the thing about the Namor one is like, does adding him slamming someone down, is that a little tweak or a change some things? I guess that can count as a change some things. Little tweaks here. These are all kind of fine. Change some things for these. See, the thing is, like, if it was up to me, this one would be completely remake, but because it's a movie moment, there is nothing to remake. It's like, that is the movie moment. So it's just like, change some things about it. The Hulk one, you know what, actually, I'm gonna say completely remake for Hulk. Because I think even like the running up and jumping could be done better. Like, I think they can make him like run with more intensity, jump with more intensity. Because like, he kind of like almost waddles up. Not waddles, but like, you know, he just kind of like, yeah, he just kind of like trudges up and leaps. Like, the heavy footsteps really do sell it, but like, I think instead of having him come from far away to land to do this fucking pose, I think it should be a tracking shot. Because like what they did here with Wolverine, like I think something like this, but instead of being like low behind him, like be like up, like shoulder surfing with Hulk. I think that would be like the one thing about his MVP I would change. Where'd my tab? I think that would be I think that would be like the beginning part that I would change, and then have it so that like he does like a punch or a clap or something, just something more impressive. Because this Hulk one was like a little too basic. It's like way relying more on his physicality to tell what he does in like anything of his actual moves, which is not wrong to do because it's like, it's Hulk, like his moves are his physicality, but like, you know, he there's things to him. So yeah, that's where I'm gonna end it. If you agree, hell yeah, leave a like, subscribe maybe. If you don't agree, let me know in the comments what you would change, like which ones you like, which ones you don't like, what changes you would do. And yeah, hope you like this kind of content. I will see you in another video. Bye-bye. Alright, real quick. Literally, right when I finished recording, 2 skins came out, and 2 more MVPs came out with those skins. So, we're going to quickly go through those. So I believe it is 2 for... 1 for Iron Fist and 1 for Black Widow. Let me just verify the truth behind that. Okay, sure. Yep. That is exactly what it is. Scarlet Witch, sorry, not Black... yeah, no. Black Widow. I was right. Black Widow. So it's this one. Cute. I mean, it's like a celebration skin. So for that alone, it's pretty nice. The final pose is kind of cute. It's really pretty. I do kind of like the artistic glowing of the ribbons, and like the fact that it starts with like the little bell to kick it off. I don't really have too much of an opinion on this one, but yeah, you know, I'm just gonna, yeah, whatever he does is, I don't think they fucked it up. And so the Iron Fist one, He's like lion dancing. Hey, he's with Star-Lord. Yeah, I think this is kind of cool. I actually kind of like that Star-Lord's full ass is on... Well, I guess Rocket was also in Groot's. Because it's not common for other heroes to be in their MVPs. I think only Rocket and Groot really gets to have other people have each other in theirs, but yeah, this is kind of nice. Kind of feel the same way about it with Black Widow, whereas, you know, it's a celebration. It's like really lively and shit. There's a lot to look at, so yeah, I guess that will also go there. Alrighty. Alright, real quick. Literally, right when I finished recording, 2 skins came out, and 2 more MVPs came out with those skins, so we're going to quickly go through those. So I believe it is 2 for... 1 for Iron Fist and 1 for Black Widow. Let me just verify the truth behind that. Okay, sure. Yep. It is exactly what it is. Scarlet Witch, sorry, not Black... yeah, no. Black Widow. I was right. Black Widow. So it's this one. It's cute. I mean, it's like a celebration skin. So for that alone, it's pretty nice. The final pose is kind of cute. It's really pretty. I do kind of like the artistic flowing of the ribbons. I like the fact that it starts with like the little bell to kick it off. I don't really have too much of an opinion on this one, but yeah, you know, I'm just gonna, yeah, whatever it does is, I don't think they fucked it up. And so the Iron Fist one, he's like lion dancing. Hey, he's with Star-Lord. Yeah, I think this is kind of cool. I actually kind of like that Star-Lord's full ass is on... Well, I guess Rocket was also in Groot's. Because it's not common for other heroes to be in their MVPs. I think only Rocket and Groot really gets to have other people have each other in theirs, but yeah, this is kind of nice. Kind of feel the same way about it with Black Widow, whereas, you know, it's a celebration. It's like really lively and shit. There's a lot to look at, so yeah, I guess that will also go there. Alrighty.